Hello, this is Dr. David Bilstrom from the International Autoimmune Institute and the Autoimmune Lifestyle, and this is Did You Know? So today is going to be about an article that hits home because it's one of the big articles we talk about in the new book coming out, A Nurse Practitioner's Guide to Autoimmune Medicine, Reversing and Preventing All Autoimmunity. And it is a central mechanism in not only reversing the disruption of the gut, specifically the gut microbiome, but also how that improves gut function, but function throughout the body. So there's a specific article we're going to talk about, but I'm going to talk about an updated article about that same concept. So this is where you upregulate the vitamin D receptor. And by doing that, the lining of the gut stops making inflammatory cytokines such as NF-kappa beta. The gut starts making antimicrobial peptides to keep away infections. We talk about its use in autoimmune disease such as ulcerative colitis, Crohn's, all these kind of things, but also we talked about its big impact on the body as a whole. So here's a follow-up study, and it's a couple of my favorite researchers from the University of Illinois in Chicago. Being in med school, University of Illinois, Rockford, these are some of my favorite researchers, and it's Yang Dai and Jun Sun, fantastic researchers. So I'm going to tell you about this article, but I'm going to tell you about another one of the authors too. So here's another author. So the article is from the Nuclear Receptor Research, 2018, Volume 5. I love there's a journal, the Nuclear Receptor Research. That's just so cool. So here's this article, Regulation of Microbiota in Vitamin D Receptor, a nuclear weapon in metabolic disease. Now in my book, I'll almost say in passing, because it's a book about the basics, we can't get into all the details, but I talk about how as long as you fix the big picture, you'll turn around insulin resistance, you'll turn around prediabetes all by itself. And you go, well, geez, that's a big statement. You know, 2/3 of Americans are pre-diabetic, right, Dr. Bilstrom? I go, yeah, it's so easy to fix it. You fix the other stuff, you'll fix that. And so here's this thing. The same thing you would do to turn around autoimmune disease is upregulate the vitamin D receptors with the combo daily vitamin D, probiotic, and butyrate, the really important gut nutrient that we're going to talk a lot about in the book. You get those three going, you upregulate the vitamin D receptors, and here are these researchers calling it a nuclear weapon in metabolic disease. That's pretty cool. It must be strong as a nuclear weapon, right? So here's one of the times I kind of brings back some memories. So here's this other researcher, Annika Agrawal, and she's at University of Illinois in Chicago also, which is also at Hinsdale High School. And we lived in Hinsdale for many moons before we moved out here to Colorado. Or out here to Idaho. I should say where I'm at. So we're at Hell's Half Acre, and this is a huge area of lava fields, part of the Craters of the Moon area, and there's still molten lava not too far underneath the rock here, the lava fields here, but most of it's the fissure that has really moved over towards Yellowstone. But this is where the two continental plates are coming apart. And it drags these big lava fields apart. So what you see here is a beautiful cleft right here where the lava fields are, but they're being pulled apart. And right here, you can basically see where the two continents are pulling apart. Right here. It's so cool. So this researcher, Annika Agrawal, at Hinsdale High School, we were there just before the kids started high school. But growing up in Aurora West was my high school, and I played tennis. And tennis at college at TCU, but our big rivals were Hinsdale High School. And there's a park in Hinsdale that is where we used to play our matches, and that's where the Hinsdale Open was and all this. So on a big sign they have on the tennis courts, it says all the years that they won the state title, singles and doubles. And so like in doubles they had, 1972, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77. 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, and right in the middle, there's not a 1978. And that's because Joe Daw and I won the state title in '78. We beat Hinsdale in the finals. So it's a lovely thing. You know, sometimes it's not always what you see, it's what you don't see that's some of the most important. So not seeing that 1978 year always warmed my heart. But remember, you're going to be fixing autoimmune disease, you're going to be fixing the gut, and oh, by the way, you're going to every day be using a nuclear weapon to reverse metabolic disease and prevent it. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day.